Welcome to Tour Truck Tuesday. Chris Trott here from the TaylorMade Tour team, bringing you another video about your relationship with your golf equipment and how you can improve your game by better understanding some of the nuances about your equipment, your relationship with your golf clubs, and how that can benefit you as a golfer on your journey. I upload videos once a week, usually every Tour Truck Tuesday, and bring you tips from the PGA Tour. But this week, it's coming from the comfort of my own home, which I know is somewhere that a lot of us have spent time as we've worked through our golf game as best we can by setting up training aids at home, setting up perfect practice putting mats, which I actually think has been excellent for me. Sturdy as well, given that I've tripped over it a few times, and it's held up well. It's been a good tool. But I want to talk a little bit about this training aid, some of the other training aids I've either received or purchased, and the relationship that you should have with them as a golfer, so you don't get either A, too reliant on them, or B, which definitely I've gone down this road, you try and work hard to please the training aid and achieve that goal, that you actually lose the end goal, which when it comes to putting, of course, is strike, which we can control, and then holding that putt. And as you can see here from this training aid, it rolls back. Now, I've got this set downhill, sloping right to left, which adds another difficult angle to this. I'd advise when you set up your perfect practice mat, which I would do if I wasn't talking to the camera right now, on a perfectly straight putt. That way, when you get into this particular device, which I think is the best putting mat I've ever used, it then gives you something where everything can line up square and parallel, because you want to be able to utilize the lines, everything goes square and simply rock down. Now, like I said, I've got this set up downhill, slightly off the right, so I then have to get off with my lines. But that's the first piece I want to bring you about a training aid like this. I'm standing on a mat that runs parallel. I have another mat that runs parallel, so you can try and get all of your angles if you use mats to go with this tool, or you look at the distance of your toes to the edge of the mat. Use all of those things to help you line up to become parallel to the target. If the camera's the target, I become parallel. And that's another way that you can check aim points on a simple tool like this. But the mat gives you the comfort. It becomes rapid fire as you start to hit putts down there. It becomes rapid fire, hole after hole after hole, and you get into a rhythm, a little bit like what you do when you're on the driving range and you pull a ball and you hit, and you pull a ball and you hit. So the call out for a training aid like this one is be sure to step away, go through your routine, and then hit another one. And allow the ball to drop. Feed the audio, listening to that noise. So when you go out onto the golf course, you can stand over your 6-foot putt, which is marked here, and you can have the confidence that you can call on. The audio is there as a visual. During your pre-shot routine, as you get to visualize, this can actually help you because you've called on the audio of that ball dropping into that cup. That's point number one. This is a definite for practice. Then I was actually sent some Putt Dots, and they go on the face like this. You simply receive the dots on a sticker, 3M sticker. You take that product and you lay it over the leading edge, and there are marks in the sticker that you can see here that line up with the leading edge, and then the dots would go onto the insert that is your face. Now, what this training aid does when you look down is it frames the golf ball. So now there's a premium on strike. There's an added incentive to strike that ball out of the middle of the putter and then get it into the hole and feed the audio. But you're making the focus purely on the strike. Good putting comes as a result of good alignment, hitting the pace, and hitting your start lines. But if you don't hit the center of the putter, you can't do any of those things. So I like this tool. I like this training aid. I like how simplistic it is. The fact that you simply go out, you take the putt dots, you align them on the middle of the face, and you bang them on your putter. And if you peel them off well, gently, you don't get them dirty, you can reuse them. It fits on any shape, any size, any insert, because it's reliant on the adhesive to use them. The only thing I will say, when you do get into a rhythm, if you're a good player, it is quite easy to strike the center and get that rhythm, which is why you must make some changes, hit left to right, hit right to left. Try not to make it too easy on yourself. But if you're just using it as a checkpoint or you're new to the game, obviously you can move the dots closer together if you're a better player. But if you're new to the game, that one is fantastic. Another version of it that is going to look very complicated, but it's actually very simple, is the goalpost. And this is from Swing Align. You do need, though, a cavity back putter. Now, I've spoken to these guys about this. They are making one that will work with a Spider, other large mallet putters that has a bit more technology in the back of it. But for the traditional putter, you simply, like you've seen me do there, place the frame, the goalpost, over the top, and then screw the back to tighten it on there. And it sits like some form of, it looks a little interesting, maybe a little intimidating. But as you then place it down and use the goalpost to frame this ball, you can see that you can use those goalposts for the alignment and then rock and roll. And it gives you the same thing. The centered strike becomes a premium, but actually now you've got your mat that you're going to get square to, you've got your goalpost you're going to get square to, and then you can get your shoulders, your forearms, your knees, and everything square to that. And I actually really like this device. It gives you a confidence in the consistency of the alignment. The putt dots are great, certainly if you're out on a putting green at your golf club and you're getting ready to play. This has a little bit more of a feel of, it's quite technical. If you use this at the golf course, you're going to have people coming and talking to you and inquiring about it, which, dependent where you are with your practice, if you like to be talking and disturbed, that's one thing, or if you want to talk about your putting with other people, it's a very sensitive line, right, between where you are mentally with your putting and if people see you publicly using a device like this. But it's actually very simple. It really is, and it's very effective. If you've got a blade type, Juno, Soto type putter, you can also move these markers up. And what that then does is it makes the goalpost narrower, which means for you as a player, the strike has become more premium because the gap left and right of that golf ball is now much tighter. So you're more likely, it's tougher. I mean, if you want a training aid that you're going to make tougher, and again, you can separate in your mind between holding the putt, usually satisfying the training aid, then make it tougher if that's the way you're going to feed your confidence. They also send, to make it the complete part, I'll be honest, I'm very impressed with this tool. They also send another device that clicks on, Swing Align, like I said, written on the back there, and this goes over the top. You can change the lie angle of this, so if your hands are very low or your hands are very high, you can change the lie angle, but as you then look down, this additional tool that you line up through the middle of the ball is again helping you, more of a traditional mirror that I have here, when you set up and you get your eyes over the ball. Now, with the goalpost, with the added alignment piece, you would put that through the middle of your golf ball. And that can also tell you if your alignment is dialed in, checked, and in a good place. It's a good tool. Looks very complex, actually not. I happen to play golf with the guy who designed this, and his putting lines, and what I mean by that is how he set up to it, were very pure. You could see he was a good putter of the golf ball, very structured in his approach. But of course the downside is, if you happen to be fortunate enough to have a putter like mine that has a slightly different entrance point on the golf shaft and it's a mallet, that particular tool doesn't work. So it brings me to, and this one is again perfect practice. I feel a bit like Roy McAvoy from Tin Cup when I wear this, but I'm using it because I actually like it. As daft as that sounds, I'm sure, by looking at me, but you take the laser point and you pop the dot in the ball. And then what you do once you've got settled, and again, you can do this with any putter, you check where your head, when you do your alignment, actually goes to. And you can see here, the dot for me lines up perfectly at the hole, and then you hit the putt. But you can also see, when I set up to this one, and this is where it's good for a beginner, is how still do you actually keep your head? Once you're focused and in the zone, how much does that dot move for you on the golf ball? So this one is perfect practice. I don't know what they call it. I'm sure it's there on their website. But I also found another place, and I'm mainly covering putter training aids here, which is what this is. But if you're a player with this one, and I'm not sure if this is the intention, but I sometimes get caught back and head stays down. And with this dot, if you actually hit balls, it can push you, promote you to release your head a little sooner because you have this laser dot that sits on front of the frame. It's good, like I say, it's where are you going to be with that? Are you going to feel too much like Tin Cup? I get it. That's why I use a lot of these training aids in the comfort of my own home, because I don't really want to take that stuff outside all the time. But there's 3 good options with the Perfect Practice mat, which, like I say, I think has been bulletproof. It's excellent, and it's a good start tool that if you've played 9 holes on a Friday night or whenever and you've come home and there's something that you left out on the golf course and you just want to grain in the sound of holing putts to give you that piece of confidence before you go out in the Saturday medal, this is an essential piece of equipment. The Putt Dots, the goalpost, and of course the glasses. 4 good training aids that I would certainly say go out there and give them a go. I'll put the websites down in the description on this video in case you want to know more about any of them. Otherwise, subscribe, follow. Let me know if you want more content on training aids with the full swing, my opinions on those training aids, and how they can help you as a golfer. My final piece on this though, and I will emphasize this, coming out of my fitting, teaching into a player's headspace, all of this is great, but use it correctly. Put it in its box, in the compartment it's meant to go in, which is your training compartment, and then move into the golf course mode where you become more of the athlete, more of the artist, making a stroke on his picture. You're not painting by numbers, which is what a lot of this stuff can be. When you get out of this space, the controlled space, and you go to play, make sure you do exactly that and become free and become a player. Good luck with it all. Let me know how you go. Comment down below. Like I say, if you want to see more of this, and hopefully it's helping you guys get lower handicaps, win stuff at your golf club, and move on in your golf game. Good luck.